Good morning, sir. Ḥiramid sir, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Very good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir.
Madam, we can start?
It's time up. You can.
Okay. A very good morning to everyone and a warm welcome to the national webinar on this special day, that is National Statistical Day. The day is celebrated on the birth anniversary of Professor 𝚘𝚎𝚗𝚊𝚆 Mahalanobis, the founder of Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata, who has contributed in the field of economical planning and statistical development. With this, I wish you all a happy National Statistical Day. On this occasion, we have organized a national webinar on the topic Importance of Agricultural and Nutritional Statistics and Opportunities. The Department of Statistics in association with IQAC, 𝚫𝚘𝚗𝚊𝚕 Science Institute, 𝚫𝚘𝚘𝚗𝚊𝚕. To begin with, I now request the convener, Professor S.B. Hiremath sir, to introduce the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Good morning, one and all. Today we are celebrating 15th National Statistics Day. Professor 𝚝𝚎 Mahalanobis is the father of Indian statistics. He has made notable contribution in the field of economic planning and statistical development in the past independent era. The government of India decided to celebrate 29th June every year, coinciding with his birth anniversary as the National Statistics Day. The government has been celebrating the Statistics Day to popularize the use of statistics in everyday life and sensitize the public as to how statistics helps in shaping and framing policies. Also, to raise public awareness, especially among the younger generation, about the role of statistics in socio-economic planning. Now, I briefly summed up contribution of late Professor P.C. Mahalanobis. He was founder of Indian Statistical Institute, ISI, Kolkata, shaped the Planning Commission. He introduced innovative techniques for conducting large-scale sample survey by using random sampling. He also devised a statistical method called fractal graphical analysis used to compare socio-economic conditions of different groups of people. He proposed the Mahalanobis distance for the first time, which is a measure of comparison between two sets of data. He has launched 𝚘𝚘𝚗𝚊𝚘, the Indian Journal of Statistics. In 1950, he established National Sample Survey, NSS, and Central Statistical Organization, CSO. He was a member of Planning Commission from 1956 to 1961. He was instrumental in formulating India's second five-year plan. In 1968, he has been honored with Padma Vibhushan and other prestigious national and international awards. Every year, Statistics Day is celebrated with a specific theme. This year, the theme is End Hunger, Achieve Food Security, and Improved Nutrition and Promote Sustainable Agriculture. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome today's Chief Guest, Dr. 𝚝𝚎 sir, Professor, Department of Studies in Statistics, Karnataka University, Dharwad. He has rich and vast research experience. He has published many national and international research papers. He has involved in extracurricular activities. He was a nodal officer of University Cell, president of PG Jamkhana, and so many committees. Sir is BOS and BOE member of various colleges and universities. Above all, he is a very kind-hearted, simple, and friendly person. He is in his busy schedule, he has accepted our invitation. So on behalf of KLE Society, principal, staff, and students of Oral Science Institute, also on behalf of all participants, I heartily welcome Dr. 𝚝𝚎 sir. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I am very happy to welcome our another resource person, Srimati Sugandha Srivatsav, Deputy Director and Regional Head, National Statistics Office, Regional Office, Hubballi. Even with her hectic schedule, she has accepted our invitation. I welcome on behalf of KLE Society, principal, staff and student and participants of this webinar. So I hope Madam will motivate our students to participate in competitive exams. I welcome you, Madam.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I wholeheartedly welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Srimati J.S. 𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚊𝚆. She has always encouraging to conduct such programs. Welcome you, Madam.
Thank you, sir.
I'm happy to welcome our NAC and IQS coordinator and life member of KLE Society, Dr. Satish sir. Also, I welcome our another life member of KLE Society, Sri S.C. Nanjapnor sir. Also, I welcome Professor V.C. Kamgold, PUC Principal of RL Science Institute. I welcome all HODs and staff members of various departments of RL Science Institute, Belgavi. I heartily welcome all participants from various institutions and organizations. I welcome our BSc and MSc students. I welcome Srimati Priyanka Kamath Madam for her technical support to conduct this program online mode. Once again, I welcome one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your warm welcome. I now request our beloved principal ma'am, Dr. Srimati J.S. 𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚊𝚆 ma'am, to address the gathering.
Very good morning to everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to the national webinar on the eve of National Statistics Day on the topic Importance of Agricultural and Nutritional Statistics and Opportunities, organized by Department of Statistics in association with IQAC of KLE Society's 𝚘𝚘𝚗𝚊𝚆 Science Institute, Autonomous, Belgavi. Yeah, let me say something about our society. Our KLE Society was established on 13th November 1916 by 7 dedicated teachers, whom we call them as 𝚘𝚑𝚎. Today, under the leadership of our Honorable Chairman, Dr. Prabhakar Kore sir, our society has grown into an amazing educational organization of 270 plus institutions. And one among these is our institution, 𝚘𝚘𝚗𝚊𝚆 Science Institute, Autonomous, Belgavi. Our college was established in the year 1935, and the degree course in science was inaugurated in the year 1944 by Sir C.V. Raman, the Nobel laureate. We are accredited thrice by NAC at A grade, and we are autonomous institute since the academic year 2013. We offer 2 UG programs, that is BSc and BCA, and we also have several different certificate courses. We have 10 NSKF certificate courses which are approved by UGC. Apart from this, we also have 3 PG programs: PG in physics, PG in mathematics, PG in chemistry. This current year, academic year onwards, we have adopted CBCS system. Okay, we all know now every year on 29th June, it is being celebrated as National Statistics Day, as rightly said by Dr. S.B. Hiramad sir. It is to popularize the use of statistics in everyday life and sensitize the public as to how statistics helps in shaping and framing policies. One of the special days to be celebrated on the birth anniversary of late Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, in recognition of his invaluable contribution in establishing the national statistical system. Yes, every year, one particular theme of current national importance is chosen. And the theme of Statistic Day 2021 is Sustainable Development Goals, wherein we say end hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. In the modern world of computers and information technology, the importance of statistics is very well recognized by all the disciplines. Statistics has originated as a science of statehood and found applications slowly and steadily in agriculture, economics, commerce, biology, medicine, industry, planning, education, so on and so forth. As on date, there is no other human walk of life where statistics cannot be applied. Statistical science and statisticians are vital to addressing several challenges across different subjects. Over the past 2 decades, there have been revolutionary development in life science technologies characterized by high throughput, high efficiency, and rapid computation. Among all, if we consider agricultural statistics, it plays an important role in countries' sustainable development. As we all know, food is one of the basic needs of human beings. Statistics has historically played an integral role in advancing nutritional sciences also. Ultimately, the main goal is sustainable agriculture, and that is to meet society's basic needs in the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. All this proves that statistics is an incredibly useful course and becomes very important part of life. In this context, to know more specific about importance of agricultural and nutritional statistics and opportunities, Department of Statistics in association with IQAC of a college has organized today's national webinar. For this webinar, we have with us 2 eminent speakers, Dr. 𝚑𝚎𝚒𝚗𝚊𝚝, Professor, Department of Studies in Statistics, Karnataka University, Dharwad, and then Srimati Sugandha Srivastava, Deputy Director and Regional Head, NSO, Regional Office, Hubballi. I, on behalf of our management, all the participants, entire faculty and student community, and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. 𝚑𝚎𝚒𝚗𝚒𝚎, and Srimati Sugandha Srivastava to today's national webinar, and also thank you for accepting our invitation to grace the occasion. I extend a warm and a hearty welcome to all the esteemed participants of the webinar. Welcome to all the esteemed management members of KLE. A hearty welcome to Professor Nanjapnar, Life Member and Member Secretary of KLE, Dr. Satisha MP, who is also IQAC and NAC Coordinator and Life Member and Member Secretary to KLE. Welcome to the entire organizing team, all my staff and students. I would like to conclude by mentioning a quote by Karl Pearson, and I think in a nutshell, it tells us about significance of statistics. He says, statistics is grammar of science, which means a lot. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, ma'am, for addressing us. Now let us look into a life history of 𝚘𝚎𝚗𝚗 Mahalanobis through a video clip. 𝚑𝚎𝚒𝚗𝚗𝚗
29 जून 1893 को जन्म हुआ था देश के प्रसिद्ध वैज्ञानिक व सांख्यिकीविद प्रशांत चंद्र महालनोबिस का। इन्होंने पहली बार जटिल आंकड़ों को सांख्यिकी की मदद से संक्षिप्त रूप प्रदान करने की तकनीक विकसित की, जिसके बाद किसी भी समस्या को कम से कम समय में और आसानी से समझा जा सकता था। सन 1931 में पीसी महालनोबिस ने देश के पहले सांख्यिकी संस्थान की स्थापना कोलकाता में की। इस संस्थान से बड़े बड़े सर्वेक्षणों के नमूने तैयार करने में मदद मिली। अपने सांख्यिकी मॉडल के बल पर इन्होंने भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था में समायोजन को नई दिशा प्रदान की। इन्होंने मूल्यांकन के लिए ऐसी तकनीक प्रतिपादित की जिनके द्वारा त्रुटियों को कम करके डेटा तैयार किया जा सकता है। महालनोबिस ने न सिर्फ अर्थव्यवस्था को आधार प्रदान किया, बल्कि फसल व मौसम पूर्वानुमान से जुड़े आंकड़ों को तैयार करने में भी शोध कार्यों को बढ़ावा दिया।
India, the jewel in the crown of the British Empire, the very symbol of imperialism, celebrated its freedom. Mahatma Gandhi was the father of independence. His economic ideal was a simple India of self-sufficient villages. Pandit Nehru, the first prime minister, wanted to industrialize and combine British parliamentary democracy with Soviet-style central planning.
In the 1950s, India was the mecca of all economists. You talk of any economist in the world, and they were advising the Indian government. And the advice was, you must have a state-led model of industrial growth. The public sector must occupy what came to be called the commanding heights of the economy. And that's why steel, coal, machine tools, capital goods, all the areas of heavy industry were in the public sector and not in the private sector.
Nehru put his faith in technology.
Nehru was a rational thinker, and he wanted to apply science and technologies to solve the great mass poverty that prevailed at the time of independence.
Under Nehru, central planning became a form of science.
Nehru was always recruiting intellectuals in India on his side in the cause of planning. And there was this genius statistician, Mahalanobis, who was head of the Indian Statistical Institute.
Nehru asked Mahalanobis to think about how to plan an economy. The brilliant Mahalanobis succeeded in expressing the entire Indian economy in a single mathematical formula.
Let YT equal national income, CT equal consumption, and KT equal investment at time into open bracket 1 plus lambda k beta k close bracket minus 1 are fractions of investment allocated to industries producing capital goods, that is K sector, and consumer goods, that is C sector respectively. We should write.
People believed this perfect mathematical model could be applied in a less than perfect world.
And at that time, Mahalanobis' model was hailed as one of the pioneering mathematical models for planning in a mixed economy. And that made Mahalanobis very influential.
India became the model of economic development for newly independent nations. Across the developing world, socialism, planning, government control, regulation, and ownership, these became the gospel.
अपने जीवन में इतना कुछ किया है तो इन्हें कुछ पुरस्कार भी मिले होंगे। जी हाँ, इन्हें कई महान पुरस्कारों से सम्मानित किया गया, जिसमें सन 1944 में नेल्सन मंडेला पुरस्कार और 1968 में पद्म विभूषण पुरस्कार प्रमुख हैं। उनके सम्मान में पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री मनमोहन सिंह ने 2006 में उनके जन्म दिवस स्टैटिस्टिक्स डे के नाम से मनाए जाने की उद्घोषणा की। तो ये थे भारत के आंकड़ों के जादूगर प्रशांत चंद्र महालनोबिस।
Thank you for watching the video. Now, I request Mr. Ajit Suttar sir to introduce our today's chief guest, Dr. 𝚑𝚎𝚑 sir. Over to you, sir.
I am purposely overjoyed to take opportunity to introduce our chief guest of the day, Dr. 𝚑𝚎𝚑𝚎. Sir completed MSc, MPhil, and PhD in statistics in the area of specialization, demography, stochastic epidemiology, and actuarial statistics. He well-known academician and researcher. He has presented 21 papers in national as well as international conferences. He has contributed 3 chapters in books, and Sir has 8 national and 30 international publications, as well as he has successfully organized 3 seminars and 1 training program in the year 2013. For this, Sir has received rupees 5.5 lakh rupees from ICSSR. Apart from this, Sir guided 4 PhD students and 2 are ongoing. Sir is also life member of Journal of Farm Sciences, IASS, ISR, and ISPS. Sir has also handled many academic as well as administrative responsibilities. He worked as chairman as well as member of various committees, including LIC, DOS, DOE, NAC, AAA, and RUSA. Sir currently working as professor in Department of Studies in Statistics, Karnataka University, Dharwad. With this brief introduction, once again I welcome you, sir, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Over to Purnima madam.
Thank you, sir, for introduction. Now, I request Srimati Sarika Salimat madam to introduce. Sorry, sir. Now, I request the resource person, Dr. 𝚑𝚎𝚑𝚎 sir, to begin with the session.
Good morning, all of you.
Good morning.
Respected Principal Madam, 𝚑𝚎𝚑𝚎 Madam, respected other chief guest, Madam Sugandha Srivastav, Deputy Director and Regional Head Hubli, my senior friend Professor S.B. Hiramat sir, and my student Ajit Sutar. We all know that today, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. We all know that today we are celebrating the 15th statistical day, the occasion of birth anniversary of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis. So, in this statistical day, the government has a theme that is actually Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 2. So the main theme is to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Actually, this goal is one of the targets, that is global nutritional target. So we have to achieve some of these targets. That's why the government has this theme. First, I thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity. Okay, so let me start my presentation. Of course, this nutrition is a big topic. In fact, I'm covering some aspects only, and some aspects of the sustainable agriculture also. So let me share the screen. Is it visible?
The screen is not visible, sir.
Screen is not visible.
Yes, sir. So now it's visible.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Visible, sir. Visible, sir.
So here I am covering only some aspects of nutrition and sustainable agriculture. Actually, so as I told you, these are the global targets. We have to achieve these targets. Okay. So it may not be possible for me to cover all the aspects of nutritional and sustainable agriculture. Okay. Nutrition is a critical part of health and development. Better nutrition is related to improved infant, child and maternal health, stronger immune system, safer pregnancy and childbirth, lower risk of non-communicable diseases, and longevity, life expectancy. Healthy children learn better. People with adequate nutrition are more productive and can create opportunities to gradually break the cycles of poverty and hunger. Malnutrition is actually the unbalanced food. Okay, the malnutrition is in every form presents significant threats to human life. Today, the world faces a double burden of malnutrition that includes both undernutrition and overweight, especially in low and middle income countries. WHO is providing scientific advice and decision-making tools that can help countries take action to address all forms of malnutrition to support health and well-being for all at all ages. This fact file explores the risks posed by all forms of malnutrition, starting from the earlier stages of development and the responses that the health system can give directly and through its influence on the other sectors, particularly the food system. So now we discuss some aspects, not in detail, the global burden of malnutrition. Today, one in every 9 people in the world is hungry, and 1 in every 3 is overweight or obese. More and more countries experience the double burden of malnutrition, where the undernutrition coexists with overweight, obesity, and other diet-related non-communicable diseases. The trend is clear. Progress is too slow to meet the global targets. Not even one country in the world is on course to meet all the 10 of the 225 global nutrition targets. And just 8 countries out of 194 countries are on track to meet 4 targets. Only 4 targets. Almost a quarter of all children under 5 years of age are stunted. So stunted means because of long-term insufficient nutrient intake and repeated infections. We check the scenario about the world as well as India. Okay, in comparison. So this is with respect to India. So these are the targets. These are the 10 targets, 10 global targets. So here we have not at all, there is no progress in this case. That is anemia, no progress, and low birth weight. We have, of course, we have the progress, but no data is available. And exclusive breastfeeding, some progress. We have means India has made some progress. Under 5 stunting, so India on course. Under 5 wasting, no progress is made in this target. And under 5 overweight on course. We are under progress. Under adult male obesity, no male obesity. This is female obesity, adult male obesity. We have no progress. Adult female diabetes, no progress at all. Adult male obesity, male diabetes, no progress. So targets, so global targets, global nutrition targets, we are able to make progress in only 4. That is low birth weight, under 5 stunting, exclusive breastfeeding, and under 5 weeks. Not 100% achievement. We are on course. Okay, this is the status of India. Okay. At the same time, overweight and obesity are increasing rapidly in nearly every country in the world, with no signs of slowing. Progress and malnutrition. Malnutrition is not just too slow; it is also deeply unfair. New global and national patterns mask significant inequalities within countries, with the most vulnerable groups being most affected. Nutrition outcomes also vary substantially across countries. Underweight is a persisting issue for the poorest countries and can be 10 times higher than in wealthiest countries. Overweight and obesity prevail in wealthier countries. On contrary, see this one, underweight is more in poorest countries, overweight and obesity is more in wealthiest countries. Okay, prevail in wealthier countries at rates of up to 5 times higher than in poor countries. This report finds a strong urban-rural divide and even longer differences across communities. So, in terms of economy also, in children under 5 years of age, wasting. So, wasting means this is a result of acute food shortage. So, wasting means wasting is because of acute food shortage and illness, and can be up to 9 times higher. 9 times higher in certain communities within countries. 4 times higher for stunting and 3 times higher for overweight and obesity. There is a clear link between infant and young child feeding practices and household characteristics. Continued breastfeeding up to 1 or 2 years of age is less common. Continued breastfeeding up to 1 or 2 years of age is less common for children in wealthier households, urban areas, or with a more educated mother. In contrast, rates of solid food introduction and minimum diet diversity are substantially lower for children in the poorest households, in rural areas, or with a less educated mother. To fix the global nutrition crisis equitably, we must shift our approach dramatically in 2 ways. Focusing on food and health, first we must address inequities in the food systems, from production to consumption. Current food systems do not enable people to make healthy food choices. The vast majority of people today simply cannot access or afford a healthy diet. The reasons for this are complex. Existing agricultural systems are largely focused on an overabundance of staple grains like rice, wheat, and maize, rather than producing a broader range of more diverse and healthier foods like fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Meanwhile, highly processed foods are available, cheap and intensively marketed. Their sales are still high in high-income countries and growing fast in upper middle and lower middle income countries. The climate emergency makes it critical to think food systems, and this presents an opportunity to shift to approaches ensuring that healthy and sustainably produced food is the most accessible, affordable, and desirable choice for all. Malnutrition, malnutrition in all its forms has become the leading cause of ill health and death. Worldwide, only about a quarter of the 16.6 million children under 5 years of age with severe acute malnutrition received treatment in 2017, highlighting the urgent need to address this unacceptable burden. Only by tackling injustices in food and health systems will we achieve the transformations needed to end malnutrition in all its forms. Food is an important global issue, crucial to health, equity, sustainability, economies, and livelihoods. To drive the transformative change needed to achieve nutrition equity and end malnutrition in all its forms, we must focus on three key areas: food systems, health systems, and financing. So inequities in stunting, wasting, overweight among children under 5 years of age. Figure below presents the prevalence of stunting, wasting, and overweight, including obesity, in children aged under 5 years by urban rural location, sex, some of the demographic characteristics, and some of the economic characteristics, location, sex, wealth, and education, using the population weighted mean of 98 countries for which there is available data across all population groups. This data suggests that absolute inequalities are more profound for stunting compared to wasting and overweight. Across all three indicators, no major differences are noted by sex, while largest inequalities are seen by wealth. Stunting and wasting are more prevalent among the poorest, and overweight among the richest. Location and education show contrasting inequalities for stunting and wasting versus overweight. Stunting and wasting prevalence is higher among children in rural areas with less educated mothers, whereas the reverse is seen for overweight, which is higher for children in urban areas and with more educated mothers. Such wealth, location, and education gaps are evident even in mostly low and lower middle income settings. This perpetuates vulnerability and creates barriers to escaping poverty, posing a significant challenge to the global community and its commitment to leave no one behind and reach the zero hunger target. So you can see this one. This is the percentage. This is global information. You can see urban, the stunting, the children under 5 years of age are having insufficient nutrient intake and repeated illness. That is, in case of urban, we have 25.6. In case of rural, 35.6. So almost the 10% difference. Whereas in case of girls and boys, there is no much difference, or hardly it is 2%. In case of richest and poorest, you can find the large gap between richest. So in case of richest, stunting is low because they are rich, they don't have any problem, they have sufficient nutrient intake and no problem with the disease. Therefore, this is less in case of richest and more in case of poorest. Secondary with this, the effects, we can find the difference in case of their educational level also. So in case of secondary and higher school, 24.6, the less, but in case of primary and the pre-matric, that is 39.2%. Case of wasting means acute food shortage, the result of acute food shortage and illness. So this wasting, in case of wasting in children, in case of urban, we are not finding any much difference. Okay, both are same in girls. In case of girls and boys also, we are finding a little difference in case of richest and poor, and also in case of as far as wasting is concerned, we don't have any demographic impact as well as don't have any economic impact in case of wasting. Whereas in case of stunting, we have the differences in demographic, some of the demographic characteristics and differences with respect to economic characteristics also. So overweight. So again, in case of overweight, so we are not finding, of course, the 0.9 less difference in rural and urban. We are not finding any much difference in case of girls and boys, poorest and result. So of course, here is a difference between the overweight. The poorest having lower overweight. As I told you, that the stress are having more overweight. Okay. So as this is again similarly with the education. So now the stunting, the more important the characteristic of the nutrition is the stunting in children. So to quantify gaps by socio-demographics, we assessed all countries with available data for a given population group, and not just those with data for all groups. The largest inequalities are seen by wealth, followed by education and location, while stunting is only slightly higher, as I explained you. Already explained some of the aspects of this stunting. So coming to this India, so this is scenario in India. This is actually what we are seeing, that is a global scenario. So this is the situation in India. Recent findings with that NFHS data, National Family and Health Survey 4, that is a phase NFHS 4 conducted in the year 2015 and 16, highlight that stunting in children under 5 years has reduced. Of course, we have found the reduction in all the states, but compared to the global target, we are still high stunting in children in all the states. Although absolute levels are still high, in some states, most significant reductions are seen in Arunachal Pradesh, some of the states, Tripura, small state, even Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Mizoram. Reductions by more than 25% are also seen in case of Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, West Bengal, Nagaland, Maharashtra, Haryana, Gujarat, while the overall prevalence of stunting has gone down in terms of absolute values. It continues to remain high in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Meghalaya, Madhya Pradesh, etc. Okay, this is the scenario. So this is the first bar gives us the NFHS 4, the phase 4, and this one. Of course, in all the cases, the stunting is more as compared to NFHS 3, phase 3. Okay. So wasting, this is again, as I explained you, in case of global scenario, and in case of India, again, the findings again from NFHS 4 highlight that wasting in children under 5 years of age or acute malnutrition is still high, as seen in figure this one. So in this figure, the wasting in children. So here, so you can, in contrary to that stunting here, in wasting in some of the states, what is that actually? So we have less. In some states we have more in NFHS phase 4, in some states less. Okay. In some, here it is more, in majority of the states, here it is more, here it is more in NFHS 4. Okay, where in some states are increasing the wasting in children, in some states decreasing. Okay, so this is about wasting. Now coming to the next the point, that is overweight. Inequalities in childhood overweight. Overweight are less profound by socio-demographic characteristics. Average rates are minimally higher in boys. So difference is less in case of sex, boys and girls, even in case of the education, even in case of the rich and poor, in case of overweight. Okay. So underweight prevalence in India, undernutrition levels are remained persistently high, especially in utero in the early years of life, and adults and girls, and in women across the life cycle, especially in disadvantaged or excluded community groups, and those living in areas or conditions of high nutritional vulnerability and multiple deprivations. National level estimates which have been used for driving comparisons are the NFHS 3, NFHS 4. Overall, there has been a 16% decrease in the underweight prevalence among children below 5 years. Underweight prevalence in children under 5 years has declined in all the states and union territories. Okay, although absolute levels are still high, remarkable reductions are seen in Himachal Pradesh, and we have seen in reduction. We have seen in case in some small states. Okay, all this. So this is the burden of malnutrition. This is overall the situation scenario of malnutrition in case of India. So this is the stunting. So at present in the year 2018, so here it is around 35%. So still it is very high compared to global scenario. It is very high. Global scenario, it is around 14 to 15%. Okay, so no problem in case, no problem in the sense that is again stable. This is decrease again. We are increasing. This is wasting. So overweight is almost the stable throughout the years, and this is underweight. We have seen the reduction in case of in both male and female. See over the years. So this is one important point here. You can see here this point. This is gender inequality index. Gender inequality index. We are at 122nd position out of this is the country. So out of 162 countries participated in this. So we are at the 122 close in the year 2000. So this is the overall scenario of the world. Okay, you can observe the situation of this America. This is America, the overweight. So majority, so overweight here. So you can see in India. So this is India. You can see we are anemia. Sorry, this is okay. Here we have anemia and stunting. So we have a problem of this one. So that is here, including what is that, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and even Bangladesh and some of the countries. Okay, so this is the scenario. So that is in richest countries are suffering overweight. Richest countries, so America and these parts. Okay, these parts and some of the African countries here and Australia. Okay, and some of again majority of European countries are anemia and stunting only. Okay, overweight and anemia also. Here some of the Arab countries. Okay, this is the global scenario of nutritional aspect, that is stunting, wasting, overweight and underweight. Okay, the first phase data of the National Family Health Survey, NFHS 5. This is we are talking about NFHS 5. We have seen NFHS 3 and 4. Now NFHS 5 for the year 2019 and 20. The report we have with us. So this is the present NFHS was conducted among 6.1 lakh sample households, involving household level interviews to collect information on population health, family planning and nutrition related indicators. The results of 17 states. So this survey includes 17 states plus 5 union territories have been released now as phase 1. So we have the findings of this NFHS 5, that is phase 1. released by the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare recently, shows that several states in India have either witnessed meager improvements or sustained reversals on child malnutrition nutritional parameters such as child stunting, child wasting, and share of children underweight and child mortality rate. According to the report, 16 states recorded an increase in overweight and severely wasted under 5 children among 22 states that were surveyed during the first phase of NFHS report. Similarly, 13 states and the Union territories of the 22 survey registered a surge in the percentage of stunted children under 5 years of age in comparison to the NFHS 4. So child wasting reflects acute undernutrition and reflects to children having low weight for their height. Instead of bringing it down, several states such as Telangana, Kerala, Bihar, and Assam, as well as Union Territory Jammu and Kashmir, have witnessed an increase instead of decrease. We have seen increase in some of these states. Others like Maharashtra and West Bengal have been stagnant on this front, whereas Gujarat, it comes to the proportion of underweight children. Okay, so this is all about malnutrition, right? So now let me give some information about tribal nutrition. This is also a serious issue, okay, to achieve the global target. Since independence, multiple government policies and programs sought to develop tribal communities by focusing on their livelihood, education, and health. Despite 6 decades of special treatment, even today, tribal people continue to be the most undernourished segment of the Indian society. The latest available data reveals that 2.7 million tribal children of India suffer from chronic nutrition deprivation, affecting their survival, growth, learning, performance in school, and productivity as adults. About 80% of the 5 million, about 80% of this population, chronically undernourished tribal children, live in just 8 states of Karnataka, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, and Odisha. About 40% of under 5 tribal children in India are stunted. 16% of them are severely stunted. Mild and moderate stunting is similar in tribal and non-tribal children, but severe stunting is higher, 16% versus 9% in tribal compared to non-tribal children. Now, so this is all about nutrition and some of the parameters, some of its parameters. Now, as per the theme, we have one more concept, that is sustainable. So, how with the help of the sustainable agriculture, how we can reduce the nutritional target. That is the one aspect. Therefore, we have a sustainable, one of the theme of the themes, this one, that is sustainable agriculture. Okay, if you had to choose, which would you prefer to eat? Normally, we normally prefer the naturally grown food. That is there. Okay, prefer to eat food that is grown more naturally, or food that is enhanced by spraying it with pesticides or applying chemical fertilizer. Most people would prefer the natural food that is free from chemicals and artificial enhancements. This is natural. Okay. Unfortunately, the majority of food we consume is produced using industrialized agriculture, which is a type of agriculture where large quantities of crops, livestock are produced through industrial techniques for the purpose of sale. This type of agriculture relies heavily on a variety of chemicals and artificial enhancement, such as pesticides, fertilizers, and genetically modified organisms. This type of agriculture also uses a large amount of fossil fuels and large machines to manage the farmland. Although industrialized agriculture has made it possible to produce large quantities of food, due to the negative aspects of this technique, there has been a shift towards sustainable agriculture. The target is the theme of this target is to shift the form, that is agriculture production, from industrialized agriculture to sustainable agriculture, in order to achieve the global target in terms of nutrition also. So sustainable agriculture is a type of agriculture that focuses on producing long-term crops and livestock while having minimal effects on the environment. This type of agriculture tries to find a food balance between the need for food production and the preservation of the ecological system within the environment. In addition to producing food, there are several overall goals associated with the sustainable agriculture, including conserving water, that is conservation of water, reducing the use of fertilizers and pesticides, and promoting biodiversity in crops grown and the ecosystem. Sustainable agriculture also focuses on maintaining economic stability of farms and helping farmers to improve their techniques and quality of life. There are many farming strategies that are used that help make agriculture more sustainable. Some of the most common techniques include growing plants that can create their own nutrients to reduce the use of fertilizers, and rotating crops in fields, which minimizes pesticide use because the crops are changing frequently. Another common technique is mixing crops, which reduces the risk of a disease destroying a whole crop and decreases the need for pesticides and herbicides. Sustainable farmers also utilize water management systems such as drip irrigation and the waste-less wet. So, what is the benefit of this sustainable? This is actually the one of the goal, one of the theme of this year's on the occasion of this year's National Statistical Day, that is sustainable agriculture. Okay, so benefits, some of the benefits. There are many benefits of sustainable agriculture, and overall they can be divided into human health benefits and environmental health. So in terms of both human health and environment, so this has sustainable agriculture has some benefits. In terms of human health, crops grown through sustainable agriculture are better for people. Due to the lack of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, people are not being exposed to or consuming synthetic materials. This limits the risk of people becoming ill from exposure to these chemicals. In addition, the crops produced through sustainable agriculture can also be more nutritious because the overall crops are healthier and more natural. So see this, the crops produced under sustainable agriculture are all nutritious. So because the crops are healthier and more, because don't have any pesticides, any chemicals, okay? No spraying chemicals, no pesticides. All right. So sustainable agriculture has also had a positive impact on the environment. One major benefit to the environment is that sustainable agriculture uses 30% less energy, 30% less energy per unit of crop yield in comparison to industrialized agriculture. This reduced reliance on fossil fuels results in the release of less chemicals and pollution into the environment. Sustainable agriculture also benefits the environment by maintaining the soil quality, reducing soil degradation and erosion, and saving water. In addition to these benefits, sustainable agriculture also increases biodiversity of the area by providing a variety of organisms with healthy and natural environments to live in. As the world as the world population continues to grow, much more effort and innovation will be urgently needed in order to sustainably increase agriculture production, improve the global supply chain, decrease the food losses and waste, and ensure that all who are suffering from the hunger and malnutrition have access to nutritious food. Many in the international community believe that it is possible to eradicate hunger within the next generation and are working together to achieve this goal. So, some of the goals to achieve through sustainable agriculture are zero stunted children. So, we have to reduce the stunted in children to 0%. Under 5 years of age, 100% access to adequate food for all. So this is, of course, this is difficult, but the target is to reach 100%. Okay, all food systems are sustainable. 100% increase in smallholder productivity and income. Zero loss or waste of food. Okay, the Sustainable Development Goal. So what we have seen, this is SDG. SDG, we have already gone the SDG 1. Now we have SDG 2, that is to end hunger. See this one. This is the theme. Now we have in our on this occasion, that is National Statistics Day, end hunger, achieve food security, and improved nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. This is SDG 2. This is Sustainable Development Goal 2. Recognizes the interlinkages among supporting sustainable agriculture, empowering small farmers, promoting gender equality, ending rural poverty, ensuring healthy lifestyles, tackling climate change, etc. Beyond adequate calories intake, proper nutrition has other dimensions that deserve attention, including macronutrient availability and healthy diets. Inadequate macronutrient intake of mothers and infants can leave long-term developmental impacts. Unhealthy diets and lifestyles are closely linked to the growing incidence of non-communicable diseases in both developed and developing countries. Agriculture systems worldwide must become more productive and less wasteful. Sustainable agricultural practices and food systems, including both production and consumption, must be pursued from a holistic and integrated perspective. Now, some aspects, okay, some aspects through that is nutritional security through sustainable agriculture. So, nutritional security is defined as a situation that exists when all people at all times have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. So this is possible through that sustainable agriculture. Achieving nutritional security in the context of bargaining population, climate change, diminishing land, water resource, environmental degradation, and changing incomes and diets will require not just approaches to sustainably producing more food, but also smarter ways of producing food, dealing with food waste, and promoting improved in nutritional outcomes. The National Institute of Food and Agriculture, NIFA, invests in and advances agricultural research, education, and extension, and seeks to make transformative discoveries that solve these societal problems. National goals for reducing hunger, improving nutrition should be grounded in this approach and could also include ensuring consistent availability and accessibility of sustainably produced, nutritious and safe food in local markets, preventing deforestation, reducing and even eliminating losses and waste in food production, processing and consumption, universal access to safety nets, and an end to chronic malnutrition, especially stunting and anemia, without increasing the risk of nutrition-related chronic disease. The transformational approaches are required for equitable food and nutrition security as part of sustainable development. Business, civil society, and governments are agreeing on ways to use natural resources more sustainably so as to achieve food and nutrition security for all in full respect of the environment. So, to add some more information in the context of COVID-19, so the 220 Global Nutrition Report in the context of COVID-19. As the world's leading report on the state of global nutrition, the Global Nutrition Report sheds light on where progress has been made and where challenges remain. New analysis shows that global and national patterns hide significant inequalities within the countries and populations, with the most vulnerable groups being most affected. The 220 Global Nutrition Report therefore examines the critical role of addressing inequity to end malnutrition in all its forms. Inequity is a cause of malnutrition, both undernutrition and overweight, obesity, and other diet-related chronic diseases. COVID-19 does not treat us equally, right? We have all evidence with this point. So the coronavirus does not treat us equally. Rich, poor, right, urban, rural, or the irrespective of the age group, okay. The undernourished people have weaker immune systems and may be at greater risk of severe illness due to the virus. At the same time, poor metabolic health, including obesity and diabetes, is strongly linked to worse COVID-19 outcomes, including risk of hospitalization and health deaths. People who already suffer as a consequence of inequities, including the poor, women, and children, those living in fragile or conflict-affected states, minorities, refugees, and the unsheltered are particularly affected by both the virus and the impact of containment measures. It is essentially that they are protected, especially when responses are implemented. Good nutrition is an essential part. Good nutrition is an essential part of an individual's defense amongst COVID-19. Nutritional resilience is a key element of society's readiness to combat the threat. Focusing on nutritional well-being provides opportunities for establishing synergies between public health and equity. COVID-19 exposes the vulnerability and weaknesses of of our already fragile food systems. COVID-19 has tested our food systems, already stressed by increasing climate extremes. Containing the virus has caused food and nutrition shortages and driven governments to reduce social services such as school nutrition programs that the most marginalized rely upon. In the context of food and nutrition shortages, accessibility and affordability of healthy, sustainably produced food becomes even more challenging. Levels of hunger and malnutrition could double within the space of just a few weeks as measures to slow the spread of COVID-19 are enacted around the world. We must ensure that there is enough nutritious food distributed fairly to cover basic nutrition needs, especially for the most vulnerable. We should specifically pay attention to women and children, especially to their nutritional well-being and healthcare. Yet even the strongest health systems are struggling with high healthcare costs and a shortage of medical personnel, equipment, and facilities. The 2020 Global Nutrition Report highlights the need to integrate nutrition into universal health coverage as an indispensable prerequisite for improving diets, saving lives, and reducing healthcare spending, while ensuring that no one is left behind. Reversing the obesity epidemic would also lessen the burden on our healthcare system. And obesity is not only one of the costliest health conditions. Obesity, right? One of the not only one of the costliest health conditions, but also a major risk of COVID-19 hospitalizations and complications. Looking beyond the present pandemic emergency, there is a need for well-functioning, well-funded, and coordinated preventive public health strategies that pay attention to food, nutrition, health, and social protection. We must learn from the challenges posed by COVID-19 and turn them into opportunities to accelerate actions needed to address inequities across malnutrition in all its forms. So this is all about nutrition, some aspects of nutritional aspects and the sustainable agriculture. So this, let me end my presentation. These are some of the sources, the information which I have collected from these sources, that 220 Global Nutrition Report, Nourishing India, National Country Nutrition Profile, Sustainable Nutrition in India 2021, and National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture in India, Nutrition in India, Facts and Implications. These are some of the sources I have looked to prepare this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The session was very enlightening and with lots of information. And it is very interesting to learn the usage of statistics in agriculture, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from students, participants? You can put them into the chat box.
One more point I forgotten to mention. In fact, I am not the expert of nutritional expert. I am also not expert in sustainable agriculture also. Okay.
So it was a excellent session. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So there are no questions from the students, participants. Okay, sir. There are no questions in the chat box.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So you are given more information. So it is a wonderful speech, sir. You are given a lot of information regarding nutrition as well as agriculture production.
Thank you, sir.
Now to begin with the second session, now I request Srimati Sarika Salimat Madam to introduce the guest of honor, Srimati Sugandha Srivatsava Madam. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good morning to everyone. Happy National Statistics Day. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Sugandha Srivatsava, Deputy Director, Regional Head, 𝚫𝚡. Madam is postgraduated in MPhil Statistics from University of Delhi on the topic Randomized Response Techniques for Non-Response in the Subject Survey Sampling. Madam was student member at the Institute of Actuaries of India from 2006 to 2009 and cleared the paper Probability and Mathematics Statistics. Prior to the above posting, Madam was posted as Directorate Journal of Foreign Trade, Member of Commerce and Industry, Delhi from the March 2013 to June 2015. Subsequently, Madam worked in Data Processing Center and member of Statistics Program Implementation, Bangalore from June 2015 to June 2016. Presently working in National Statistical Office, Field Operation Division, Regional Office, 𝚫𝚡 from March 2016 to till date. I welcome you. With this brief introduction, I welcome you, ma'am. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now I request Srimati Sugandha Srivatsava ma'am to take over the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving such a good introduction for me. Am I audible on the first place?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. So a very good afternoon to the invited dignitary, Dr. A.S. Talwar, Principal Madam of RLS College, HOD Statistics, Shri S.B. 𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚗𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘𝚘 faculty of all the college, all young minds, and the audience who have joined today for today's seminar. At first, I am thankful to Shri HOD Statistics for inviting me on behalf of RLS Institute in this national webinar. It always feels good to talk to and motivate young minds. So today we have gathered on the birth anniversary of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, father of statistics of India. And as we just saw the video some time back about him, we know that he was instrumental in synchronizing different aspects of planning in the newly independent India, including second five-year plan. His extensive experience in carrying out surveys helped in establishing the National Sample Survey Office, NSSO, recently which got merged with CSO to be known as National Statistical Office. Students, you all must be studying statistics as one of your subjects as a part of your curriculum. I'm not here to say that statistics is the best subject that offers you the best career option. But with statistics, yes, as one of your options, you can look out for a career that I would be talking in due course, which would be a fulfilling career option. You may ask, why statistics? And I would go on to say, why not statistics? In today's time, we are obsessed with big data and aspire to use it in every aspects of our lives, from business to medicine to sports and so on and so forth. This is because statistics, beside being known for collection, compilation, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data, statistics is the science of decision making in the face of uncertainty with calculated risks. All you students must be handling data on day-to-day basis in your classes. Here, I would like to highlight that authors or writers paint the picture of society from the point of view of arts, but it is actually the science behind the data collection that paints the true picture of society based on facts and figures. To the outside world, our country is known by the figures or indexes that we publish, be it the GDP figures, be it the national income, price indices, industrial production, status of employment, unemployment, poverty, health, exports, imports, etc. Hence, statisticians are significantly important people in helping the country, the government, the business entities, etc., in making or taking informed decisions. But let me warn you that there is also a saying that there are three kinds of lies: lies, damn lies, and statistics. Hence, it becomes very imperative that the tools of statistics is used responsibly, intelligently, and cautiously. With that caution, I now move ahead to talk about career options in statistics. Well, let me warn you that I am no expert in career counseling, but I'll try my best with the knowledge that I have gained over all these years. So let me share my screen with you first. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. So now I would start with the opportunities in statistics. I'll go one by one. First, about my service, which is Indian Statistical Service. This is an administrative interministerial civil services under Group A of the Central Civil Service of the Executive Branch of Government of India. The exam is conducted by UPSC and has a 2-tier examination that is written and interview. The qualification is the bachelor's degree with statistics or mathematical statistics, applied statistics as one of the subjects, or master's in statistics, mathematical statistics, applied statistics from a recognized university. I can say that the mandate of the service, in short, I can say is that it acts as the nodal agency for planned development of the statistical system in the country, along with maintaining liaisons with international statistical organizations. Talk about GDP, estimates of national income, index of industrial production, consumer price indices, labor force data, data on socioeconomic importance, that is consumer expenditure or land livestock holding, debt investment, drinking water sanitization, hygiene, disability, tourism, migration, etc. Data on time use survey, unincorporated sector, agriculture, industry, and so on have the administrative and technical guidance of the ISS officers. This MOSPI is the cadre controlling authority. Let me talk a bit about MOSPI here. MOSPI, that is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. It has got 2 wings. First is the statistics wing, which is known as the National Statistical Office, comprising of earlier known as NSSO, that is National Sample Survey Office, CSO, that is Central Statistical Office, and Computer Center. The second wing is the Program Implementation Wing. The NSS has got 4 divisions. First is SDRD, that is Survey Design Research Division. This is responsible for technical planning of surveys. Second is FOD, that is Field Operations Divisions, where I work. This is responsible for collection of primary data for the surveys undertaken. This Data Processing Division, responsible for sample selection, software development, processing, validation, and tabulation of data collected through surveys. Fourth is SCD, which is Survey Coordination Division, which coordinates all activities of different divisions of NSS. Next wing is the CSO. CSO has 5 divisions. First is NAD, that is National Accounts Division. It is responsible for preparation of national accounts, which includes GDP, government and private final consumption, expenditure, and other macroeconomic aggregates. Second, SSD, Social Statistics Division. This is engaged in monitoring of Millennium Development Goals, environmental economic accounting, national data bank on socio-religious categories, release of regular and ad hoc statistical publications. ESD, Economic Statistics Division. This is engaged in conducting economic census, All India Index of Industrial Production, and so on, and develops classifications like National Industrial Classification and National Product Classification. Fourth, coming to 4th point, this is Training Division. This division is responsible for training the manpower. And 5th is CAP, that is Coordination and Division, which looks after the coordination work within CSO as well as with the ministries and state and union territories. The last wing is called the Computer Center or Data Informatics and Innovative Division. In short, I will just say that this is mandated with electronic data processing, including data preparation and management. So you see here, this is my regional office. This comes under Field Operation Division of NSS wing of National Sample Survey. FOD, which is called the Field Operation Division, has a network of 6 zonal offices, 52 regional offices, and 117 sub-regional offices spread throughout the country. Regional Office Hubli covers 3 sub-regional offices, headquarters at Bellary, Belgaum, and Gulbarga, and it has a notional sub-regional office at Hubli, and you can see in the map that all these sub-regional offices, they cover certain districts, jurisdiction, where the people go for the data collection. I now move on to the next service. This is Subordinate Statistical Service. The officials are recruited through combined graduate level examination every year by Staff Selection Commission. The officers are designated as junior statistical officers, and there is a 3-tier exam in this, where tier 1 and tier 2 is a multiple choice question examination, and these JSOs, that is the junior statistical officers, when they are posted in field offices, they become the soldiers of the very basic and important level of data collection. For a selected sample, the JSOs move door to door, shop to shop for data collection. The nature of job is of utmost importance because on this data, government lays down policies for the people of the country. And I must say that this is no easy task because these people need to face the public, not only public, sometimes and many a times you have to face the public wrath maybe, and these people need to educate and convince the public about the survey and then collect the relevant data. Moving on. This is about Defense Research and Development Organization. In short, we know this as DRDO. So DRDO formulates and executes programs of scientific research design, development, testing, and evaluation of various system devices and products required for defense of the nation. Here, the people can join as the post of Junior Research Fellow. Then there are options also in private companies. If you are studying statistics, you are hired as data analyst. Various companies hire for developing econometrics, time series, and forecasting models for determining the cause and effect of the indicators of the study. Next comes the medical institutes. There are various medical institutes that hire statisticians as consultants, wherein the consultants are engaged in design and analysis of clinical studies evaluating new pharmaceutical agents. Moving on, we have a career option. Yes, coming back to college, again, to give back what you have intellectually, it's very fulfilling. I would rather say it's a very challenging area in today's time when knowledge is just but one click away. So one has to be upbeat all the time. You must be seeing your professors every day, yes? And academicians like C.R. Rao, D. Basu, P.C. Mahalanobis have worked relentlessly and have brought statistics to a stage as we see it today. To enter academics, we need to qualify the CSIR UGC NET exam, and the qualification is an MSc with 55% of marks. The world, I would say, for the academicians are very different, but a career in this is nonetheless very satisfying and a fulfilling one. Moving on, this, I don't know how many of you know about it, but you must have heard the buzz about this, actuarial science. So actuaries are highly regarded professionals. They are basically problem solvers and strategic thinkers with a deep understanding of financial systems. Here you learn how to analyze data, evaluate financial risks, and communicate this to non-specialists. They measure the probability and risk of future event. So an actuarial career offers employment options in banking, insurance, healthcare, pensions, and investment. In short, actuaries make financial sense of the future. You need to take student membership from Institute of Actuaries of India and clear the papers. They are core technical papers. Core technical, it comprises of 8 papers. And then there are special technical papers also to clear. Many, and as of now, because during my time, there was no entrance test, but as of now, I can see that to take the student membership now, the student have to clear an examination called Actuarial Common Entrance Test to get the membership and then write the exams either for core technical papers or for the special technical papers. I would rather say that many reputable employers, including consultancies and insurance companies, recruit entry-level actuarial students, and it is also very satisfying career. The last, I would rather say, this belongs to my organization, my department, the contractual survey enumerator and survey supervisor. We in the Office of Field Operation Divisions hire young students, those who are graduates. We prefer people from statistics to come to our office as survey enumerator and survey supervisor, but I would rather say that you should not consider as a permanent career option. Rather, you should take this as a platform for learning the methods, engaged in data collection and how they are used in policy framing. So this job of survey enumerator and service supervisor in our offices are purely contract basis through designated agency And all these enumerators or supervisors are attached for a particular ongoing survey scheme. For survey enumerators, the qualification is a bachelor's degree or 12th or higher secondary pass with certificate of related technical course or skill and knowledge of English and local language. And for survey supervisor, bachelor's degree having studied at least a paper of statistics, economics, mathematics, psychology, or social work, and 2 years experience of statistical work at supervisory level in central government, state government, PSU, or public limited are preferred. But then again, I would say that this should always be a stopgap arrangement in your career. This should not become the permanent solution for your career formation, because this job is purely contract basis. At the end, I would like to bring to light that without data, you are just another person with opinion. Good policy making requires good data and good data analysis. On a closing note, I would just like to say, median age of India is 27 years. When I say median age, it means an age that divides a population in two numerically equal groups. That is, half the people are younger than this age and half are older. So with median age of country as 27 years, it implies more than 50% of its population is below the age of 25 years. That means predominantly we have a young India whose contributions can make a difference in this world. As Mahatma Gandhi said, if I have the belief that I can do it, I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it, even if I may not have it at the beginning. And at last, I would like to close with Dr. D.R. Bendre's quote. I will speak in Kannada, but please pardon me if I have a wrong pronunciation in Kannada. Entaha ghor kashtada shana edurige banda daru yedagunda baradu ide sukhe balina rahasya. That means, I'll speak in English. Whatever is the difficult situation, never ever be afraid. This is the secret of happy life. So with these very few words, I would end my session on opportunities of statistics. I would say that this is not the entire gamut of opportunities available, but the world is changing. The world is changing, evolving, and so is the career options changing and evolving. All I would like to say is that you have to be attentive, see what you want in life, understand what you are seeking, and accordingly work towards it, fix the target, and work very hard in achieving your goals. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a wonderful session. You explained all the opportunities in the different fields after post-graduation and graduation, in the civil service, agricultural field, and more. Thank you, ma'am. Hope our students will get benefited. Thank you once again, ma'am.
Yes.
Students, if you have any questions, you can put them into the question box, chat box. Now the session is open for interaction. No questions? Okay, fine. Thank you all. Now I request Professor Sudha Sarikar Madam to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. Happy Statistical Day to everyone. Respected Principal Madam, our most valued invited speakers, teaching staff, and all participants. It's my great privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this session. On behalf of our Department of Statistics, Aral Science Institute, Belagavi. I, Sudha Sarikar, Assistant Professor in Mathematics, would like to say very hearty thanks to everyone. Firstly, a big thanks to Dr. A.S. Tadawar, Department of Studies in Statistics, Karnataka University, Dharwad, for your wonderful explanation on importance of agriculture and nutritional statistics. Thank you, sir. And I also say my thanks to Srimati Sugandha Srivastava, Head NSO Regional Office, Hubballi, for your inspiration speech. Thank you, madam. I also wish to express my gratitude to our principal, Dr. Srimati J.S. Kavlekar ma'am, Aral Science Institute, Belagavi, for your continuous support. Thank you, madam. Next, I express my thanks to Dr. Satisha MP, Life Member, KLE Society, and NAC and IQAC Coordinator, Aral Science Institute, Belagavi. Thank you, sir. I also extend my thanks to Professor S.G. Nanjapnawar, sir, Life Member, KLE Society, for your cooperation. Thank you, sir. And I wish to say my thanks to Professor V.C. Kamgod, Principal, Aral Science PU College, Belagavi. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to say my thanks to Dr. S.B. Hiremat, Head Department of Statistics, and all heads of various departments. Thank you. I wish to say my thanks to Srimati Priyanka Kamath ma'am for your technical support. I also extend my thanks to all my colleagues for their cooperation in the organization of this event. Finally, I would like to say my thanks to all participants for making this webinar successful. Thank you, one and all.
So, thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. So you have given a wonderful information.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
We can leave.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.